All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're looking at something that's literally reconstructing the blockchain from first principles, HyperLiquid. We're going to see how it's totally changing the landscape of high-frequency finance by challenging basically every fundamental assumption we have about executing complex financial workloads on-chain.
For years, right, we've had this debate. Can a DEX ever truly match the raw speed of a CEX? Centralized exchanges give you that lightning-fast order matching and deep liquidity, but you gotta surrender your keys. Decentralized exchanges let you keep your crypto, but honestly, they've historically suffered from high latency, failed transactions, and, let's face it, pretty clunky user experiences. It always felt like this unsolvable trade-off.
To see how we're finally breaking that trade-off, here's our roadmap for today. First, the DeFi performance problem. Second, rebuilding the blockchain. Third, HyperCore, the financial engine. Fourth, HyperEVM, smart contract layer. Fifth, why the split matters. And finally, the future of finance.
Kicking things off with Part 1, the DeFi performance problem.
So we all know AMMs pioneer DeFi, but their Oracle-based models, they come with massive inefficiencies. You're dealing with slippage, impermanent loss, and those nasty MEV attacks. Now, on the flip side, we have central limit order books. This is the Wall Street standard. They give you precise execution and super tight spreads. The catch? They need constant updates, placing, tweaking, and canceling orders. And doing that on a traditional general-purpose blockchain just chokes the network completely.
I love this analogy because it hits the nail right on the head. Running an order book on a traditional EVM is literally like racing a streetcar in Formula 1. The engine just isn't built for it. When you have smart contracts, token transfers, and meme coin launches all fighting for the exact same block space and gas, you get massive latency. General-purpose blockchains simply weren't engineered for high-frequency financial matching.
Moving on to Section 2, rebuilding the blockchain. So instead of forcing this heavy financial workload onto a generic chain, HyperLiquid did something radical. They rebuilt the Layer 1 strictly around the finance itself. The bedrock here is HyperBFT. It's a custom consensus mechanism inspired by hot stuff, and it's optimized for sub-second finality and crazy high throughput. That means once a block is finalized, boom, it's locked in. No more waiting around for probabilistic confirmations when you're in the middle of a high-stakes trade.
Think about traditional blockchains like really bad city planning. You're mixing heavy freight trucks and daily commuters on one single-lane road. Everything crawls. HyperLiquid said, no way. We need a dedicated high-speed rail for finance and a separate commercial district. So they physically isolated the traffic on the exact same chain to maximize efficiency.
Which brings us to Section 3, HyperCore, the financial engine.
Check out this number, 200,000. HyperCore is this pure execution engine, processing a staggering 200,000 orders every single second. To put that into perspective for you, that actually rivals and in some cases beats the throughput of the biggest centralized exchanges in the world. And it's doing it entirely on-chain. Wild, right?
This is where the magic happens. We're talking fully on-chain perpetuals and spot order books. HyperCore executes all the order matching and margin checks natively, clocking a median latency of just 0.2 seconds. And here's the absolute game changer. Zero gas fees for trading. You only pay standard exchange maker and taker fees. By baking the matching engine straight into the base layer, it enforces strict price-time priority. It's built from the ground up for fairness and deep liquidity.
Now let's look at the other side of this architecture, in Section 4, HyperEVM, the smart contract layer.
When you compare these two engines, the brilliance of this split architecture really clicks. The heavy financial lifting, the matching, the margin checks is completely isolated over in HyperCore. That leaves HyperEVM totally free to do what it does best, act as a general-purpose smart contract platform. You can build your vaults, lending protocols, and custom DeFi apps over there, and they use the HYPE token for gas, completely out of the way of the zero-gas trading happening on HyperCore.
But here's the really crucial part. These aren't two separate blockchains. They share the exact same HyperBFT consensus. They use this clever dual-block architecture, and thanks to a system contract called Core Writer, the EVM can actually write directly to HyperCore. Add in read precompiles that instantly fetch market data, and you've got seamless interaction. The best part? Absolutely no cross-chain bridges required. It's all native.
So let's put it all together in Section 5, why the split matters.
Let's walk through the actual life cycle of a trade here. Step 1, you submit an order.
Step 2, HyperCore immediately handles the financial execution and matching. Step 3, HyperBFT steps in and instantly finalizes that state. And Step 4, HyperEVM smart contracts can observe that finalized trade in the exact same block. Everything operates seamlessly and synchronously. They never compete for bandwidth, but they share the exact same ledger truth.
Liquidity is not just an app on the chain. It is a protocol-level resource. I mean, that is a massive paradigm shift. On your standard chains, liquidity gets fractured across dozens of competing apps. But here, smart contracts aren't just isolated islands. They're tapping directly into the deep, native liquidity of the Layer 1 itself. It treats liquidity as a fundamental utility, just like block space or consensus. And because it's one consensus layer with two execution engines sharing state, you get zero bridge risk. Look, we all know bridges are the weakest link in crypto. They've been responsible for billions in hacks. By keeping the smart contracts and the financial engine safely under one single consensus umbrella, you get all the composability you could want with literally none of the bridge risk.
All right, wrapping up with Section 6, the future of finance. The proof is absolutely in the data. By offering this no-compromise solution, HyperLiquid has already captured roughly 70% of the entire on-chain perpetual futures market. Traders are always going to migrate to wherever the execution is best, and clearly, the market is validating this custom Layer 1 approach over traditional AMMs and general-purpose rollups. The scale we're looking at is just massive, over $3.8 trillion in total trading volume. And unlike traditional centralized players, 97% of those fees are directed right back into Hype token buybacks, aligning the network with the community. Plus, with major institutional integrations like Ripple Prime jumping on board, it's pretty clear we're looking at a true hybrid here. It's the speed of traditional finance combined perfectly with the self-custody of DeFi. Which leaves us with a really fascinating question to close out this explainer. If a blockchain can be purpose-built to literally outperform traditional finance, what other complex industries are going to fundamentally redesign the Layer 1? HyperLiquid proved that breaking the traditional execution model unlocks incredible power. So what industry is next? It's a thrilling space, and definitely something to think about.